Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, guys, is a pretty different kind of video. I know I didn't post yesterday, and I actually have a headache today, but I'm pushing through because I really want to make this freaking video. I've kind of been thinking about making a certain type of video like this for a while now, and I decided, hey, I'm going to put it to use, and hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully it actually comes out and turns out well. But basically, you're going to be seeing me, and then you're also going to be seeing movie clips, and then me talking over the movie clips. So hopefully it works. I don't have the proper tools and stuff like that yet, so bear with me on that, but I think this should be a good video. So essentially what I'm going to do today is kind of talk about different movies or different franchises, and I'm trying not to make it too long, but I do want to go through. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 clips. Looking at my laptop right here. So what I talk about you're going to be seeing. So first of all, we're talking about movies like Kingsman, Adventures of Tintin, the Lego Ninjago movie, The Last Jedi, Endgame, Joker, stuff like that, and we're going to be discussing different shots. So, I'm sure you're all aware, but a shot in film, so pretend you're looking at a TV, or you're looking at me, right? Right now, you're watching me, a shot right now. I didn't change, so, but let's pretend I switch over to me suddenly playing basketball, like I did with that Batman video. That's a different shot, and then I switch over and suddenly I'm in the basement. That's another shot. So different shots and frames make up different movies, and a lot of directors really want to make shots that are actually good. Every shot really does have to tell a story, and the first shot that we're going to be discussing is from Kingsman: The Secret Service. It's a bit of a violent clip here, but it's not only one of my favorite action clips of all time, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's probably in the top 10 favorite movies. So I'm going to be showing the clip right now, and then I'm also going to be discussing it. So let's go on to Kingsman: The Secret Service, the church fight scene. Alright guys, so moving over from around 11 seconds in, you're going to see Harry Hart right here, and he is basically moving in, and if you notice, this is kind of cheating, but as soon as he moves past the camera, what they do is they do a different thing, kind of like a warp or like a lens type of thing, where basically someone kind of... It's impossible to get Harry Hart, this guy, Colin Firth, it's impossible to get him jumping around and flittering around and moving all across the place. So certain shots where he gets hit with the church pew thing, or he kind of tosses a guy over him and he kind of flies into the screen, or Harry like dodges over those church pews and kind of like goes over the screen, then they wipe to another shot. So essentially this one fight scene is meant to look like one consecutive shot, when in actuality it's a bunch of different shots kind of stitched together really perfectly into one. And I think with my tributes I try to do this where I make every tribute and every shot count to the music, and that's what they're doing here. We're playing Freebird in the background here, which you're not really hearing because I don't want to get copyright, but when he's just going to town right now, it's still made to look like one shot. He jumps over the pew, boom, gets hit, bam, hits the thing, and then of course it ends. But that really is going back to the beginning. I'll show it one more time from the very beginning. It's him essentially going crazy, and he's killing all the guys, and it's one of my favorite fight scenes of all time. But it's very stylized. But if you notice, there's certain cues where, like I said, a body will kind of move over the screen or kind of flutter, and that gives the director, Matthew Vaughn, something to work with, in terms of how to kind of label. Because there's a lot of choreography in this, there's a shite ton of choreo, and if they jack it up, it's gonna look really freaking weird. Like that dude when he jumps over in the pink, and he kind of wipes over the screen. Let me see if I can pull that up. He goes, whoop, that pink dude. That's another shot right now. So Harry shoots the dude in the face, hit him, and then he does a little barrel roll. And that's all one consecutive shot. So there's a lot of stuff going into this that kind of makes... It's not only good filmmaking, but it's good editing, and it's good CGI work, and it's really good everything. Good timing. Everything about this really did kind of go crazy in terms of how everything... really came together, and I think that's what makes the Kingsman, all the Kingsman fight scenes so freaking good, is that they're timed well with good music, and they also flow, and they're crazy violent, but they're also crazy well done, and it's just fantastic. So we're gonna move over to the next film, The Adventures of Tintin. I just watched this yesterday, and it is easily in the top 10 as well. This is one of the best animated films I've ever seen. It's not a kid's film; it's an animated film. So if you are worried, oh, it'll look really kiddie. It's not. In fact, it's PG. It probably should have been PG-13 in all honesty. But we're going to be looking at the consecutive... There's one of the longest shots I've ever seen in an animated film. And it's basically in Bagar, where Tintin and Haddock and Snowy are trying to capture the third scroll for the unicorn ship. And it starts here with Tintin kind of going into a curry powder or something like that. And he kind of gets the Falcon. The Falcon moves away. He's driving. As you can see, Tintin goes into the screen. That could be a wipe. Who knows? Haddock you know, Geronimo, and he freaking jumps in, he's punching the guys, kaboom, right there, and then, you know, hits the other guy, and then it moves over to Tintin chasing the Falcon. This really is like an Indiana Jones Uncharted sequence, and this is why I love Tintin so much. One of the reasons why I love Tintin so much is that this movie and the, you know, the TV show and all that, and the franchise in general, it really takes these elements to a whole new level, you know. This shot right here of him on the freaking motorbike, I watched this so many goddamn times, it's unreal. It's insane, the amount of animation, the music, the sound effects, everything coming together for this one consecutive shot. There's a lot of assets, you know, and with motion capture, you have to make a lot of different things. There's a lot of different frames. I think 24 frames a second. Each frame took about 6 or 7 hours, apparently. And then it's going to end with him jumping, then grabbing the Falcon in slow motion. So I'm going to play that again from the very beginning. And basically, like I said, I mean, just look at everything that goes into this shot, you know, minus the Fandango movie clips. The amount of things in the background to look for, and the characterization, and just the way characters, like, their fabric moves, the way, you'll see in a second here, Tintin kind of grabs the string or the yarn off of those people doing whatever they're doing, and it kind of makes a little, like a pole sound. Look at the freaking, like, the dust and the you know, the different pieces flying around. Tintin hits the thing and his motorbike falls apart. Look at the wheel in the left. It hits the building and it flies back. There's a lot of things. If you look at the very foreground, the very back, you can see the tank in the house. There's so much going on. It's freaking unreal, man. The music, everything with this is really just fantastic. And of course, like I said, it ends with him catching the Falcon. And it makes for one of easily my favorite, probably my favorite shot in the whole movie. And that's why, you know, Tintin, The Adventures of Tintin, that film, it's, if you want me to do a review or something, I'll do a separate video, but that movie's freaking phenomenal. I think it's really, really well done. And Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, Kathleen Kennedy, they all did a great job, and it was fantastic. So we're going to move on to the next movie, the Lego Ninjago movie, which is one of my favorite films. Again, top 10. I really would consider the Lego movie, Lego Batman, Ninjago, Lego Movie 2. I think those 4 movies would kind of be all kind of tied in one. Maybe the original Lego movie, only because it was the original, but we're looking at a shot here from the Lego Ninjago movie. And it's kind of a shorter shot compared to the other ones, but it's essentially, there's this red-haired minifig girl riding a red motorbike, and one of the big villains, Meowthra. Meowthra is basically the Lego Ninjago movie is as much, like I said, it's a comedy, it's an action movie, it's a drama, and it's also a riff on parody on kung fu movies and monster movies. And Meowthra is, of course, Mothra, the big frickin' moth thing, from probably the monster universe that you've been seeing, like Godzilla, Kong, and all that stuff. But this shot really is Meowthra the cat. Now, I'm going to play this shot, and we're gonna look at it for a second, because it's pretty crazy. This shot right here, this cat, see Meowthra right there? That is, and that's it. It's over in like 3 or 4 seconds. But it is easily probably one of the most complex and just great looking shots in the whole movie. And there's a lot of great shots in this film. But the cat, Meowthra, is 100% CGI. That is a 100 freaking percent CGI cat. And that, when I first saw this movie, I think I saw it like 3 or 4 times in theaters. Every single time I thought, wow, they did a really good job of stitching that live action cat into an animated, because you know, all 4 Lego movies are animated, but they're made to look like real stop motion, where they're animated. But it is animation. You know, they are doing, you know, they're blending real practical Lego bricks with the I guess the digital element of it. But basically what they're doing is they filmed a real cat to get real motion, you know, but of course it's hard to get a cat to do this stuff, you know, so they had to make this cat 100% digitally from scratch based on a real cat, though, you know. So they filmed the cat, how they interacted with Lego bricks, and this shot of just kind of bobbing in and out and weaving between these 2 buildings, these people flying around. You know, you get the ultimate weapon, the big laser kind of destroying everything. You have buildings collapsing and pieces and bricks falling down, all while following this lady on a motorbike. And it really, you have one of the shark generals. It's a beautiful shot because it shows such chaos in mayhem in this city, while also giving you a real sense of panic and dread for these Lego guys, you know, these minifigures in Ninjago City. And it looks freaking fantastic. All the Lego movies look fantastic in terms of animation, but just the detail and the pieces. Meowthra itself, the cat, looks effing beautiful. I mean, it looks like a real cat, you know. And I like to, you know, I'm not like a professional CGI dude over here, but, you know, I'm franchise fanatic. I really, really, really care about film, and I like to think I know a lot about it. And I really thought this cat was a real cat, you know. And I was like, wow, they got it to, you know, what they do, like dangle a stick, you know. But no, it's a CGI cat. And the fact that like there's different shots in here, like they have, I'm not going to show it, but they have like sand particles in the beach, you know, and each grain of sand took like, you know, a thing. So, you know, like a million strands of sand, you know, specks of sand. They have to animate that. And this shot alone, just the cat and, you know, the Lego bricks, it's very complicated, but it came together really well. Okay, so next we're going to talk about my favorite movie of all time. If you know my channel, if you know my Twitter even, if you just know me in general, if you're a friend or family member, you probably know that my favorite movie of all time is Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This is, in my opinion, the most flawless movie I have ever seen in my life. And I don't think I'll ever see another movie that ranks besides this. People absolutely shat. I mean, they pooped on this scene. They took a fat dump and they lit that on fire. I mean, it was so bad. And this is my favorite shot in the entire film, and it might be one of my favorite shots of all time. Really. So this is, of course, when Kylo Ren kills Supreme Leader Snoke, and there's a lot of things going on with this shot. So I'm going to play it, and you're kind of going to see the, you know, you got Rey and Kylo Ren back to back. You got the Praetorian Guards gearing up in slow motion. As soon as Rey hits the lightsaber with the Praetorian Guards vibro blade, it goes to regular motion. It's not ultra fast, it's just kind of regular. If you look at Rey and Kylo, they're each doing their own thing. She even grabs his thigh at one point, which kind of, you know, this movie kind of indicated that element of romance, the dyad between the two. This shot works on so many levels because not only is it framed beautifully, the actual framing of the shot, the red, the guards fighting, everything in this shot is just, it's a beautiful looking shot. You know, it really looks fantastic. Rian Johnson is my favorite director, favorite writer, and he did a bang up job with this scene. And of course, people are gonna go, "Oh my God, the choreography shit, or the blade disappears," you know, all this garbage. And look, if you want to critique the choreography, do your own thing. If I am going to nitpick it, if you look at the far right, one of the guards in the back just kind of stabs nothing, and then he hits Kylo's blade. Look, if you're looking for faults in choreography, you're going to find it in every movie. It's in The Last Jedi, it's in Blade, it's in The Dark Knight Rises, it's in almost every action movie, at least in one scene. You're going to get an F-up, but you're only going to notice it if you look for it. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 1, right? Looking at me here. You know, his freaking wig changes every shot, but you don't notice it unless you're going to look for it, you know. The Dark Knight Rises, there's a guy on a rooftop, he just kind of falls from nothing, you know. Blade 2, Blade shoots a dude through the heart and he disintegrates before he gets hit, you know. It's people that go, "Oh my God, there's a mistake, Disney sucks," you know, SJW, you know, those are just haters, they're fake fans. They don't belong in the Star Wars franchise. And it's really, they do not belong in the Star Wars franchise. They don't. If you're going to shit on a scene just because of one little mistake, you're not a fan of Star Wars. It's just that easy. Now, there is one thing. If you want to look individually at each Praetorian Guard, again, you might notice one flaw. Big deal. And one of the reasons why there are flaws, really, probably, are because Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley are actually doing that. There's no stunt guys. There's no CGI. Right? They spent, I think, from what I can remember, they spent around 7 or 8 months choreographing this one shot alone. Alone. That's crazy. Now, there's another thing people freak out about. They go, "Oh, look at the left," right? Notice carefully. There's a guy who kind of runs. And if you look, as soon as he runs, there's a guy on the left. And he kind of goes like, he kind of turns his head and looks like, "Where are you going?" And people thought, "Oh my God, it's another mistake," because the stunt guy didn't know it. No, that's not a mistake. That's called comedic tone, or comedy, right? Rian Johnson is king for creating action scenes and just moments in general that have slight moments of comedy that aren't like, "Oh my God, it's laugh out loud funny," but it's just a neat little moment. You know, the guy runs, he looks backward, and then he does a little jump, and then he goes forward. Basically, what Rian was trying to do with this shot is you have guys, you have the Praetorian Guards, you have them going in and out, left and right, away out of the shot, out of the frame, and that is just kind of showing that there's a room, you know. The room of the Snoke's throne room is not just the shot, it's, you know, it's out of frame. So when guys run out of frame, they're running over to another part of the thing, and it shows the audience that there's more to this throne and there's more to this than just, you know, the one frame that you're getting here. Of course, the choreography for 99% of it is fantastic. It looks badass as all get out. It's amazing. It's in a lot of my tributes. It's just a shot that it drives me. You know, it really does. It's fantastic. Daisy and Adam doing their thing. The guards running a little bit of comedy in there. You know, with the awesomeness, it looks fantastic. It really, really does. And another moment, really, besides visually, what makes this shot so compelling is that the audience during this time in the movie, they're looking at it and they're going, like Rey. By the way, Rey's a great character. They're looking at Rey and they're going, oh my God. She thinks, oh my, you know, Kylo Ren's turning. You know. So in that, when you look at everything, the audience is going, wow, Kylo Ren's good, awesome, you know. He does the whole fight scene, and Rey and the audience thinking he turned to the light side, killing Snoke, his master, right? But then in the end, it's another Rian Johnson fake out, and Kylo Ren only wanted to gain more power for himself to become the new Supreme Leader. And it is subversive in the best way possible. It's one of my favorite shots ever in cinema. And I think people unfairly criticize it because of a blade disappearing and because of some dude missing his cue for 1 second. It's not a big deal, and if you think it's a big deal, you're overanalyzing when you should be not doing that. You know, I mean, that's dumb filmmaking critiques, and you're really missing the point. What Rian Johnson was trying to do with the whole fight scene, but really the shot in general, is not only the audience feeling a sense of dread and emotion and hype and adrenaline, you also have funny moments, great choreography, and of course a really good stakes that kind of do it. And there's never been a shot like this before where it's just the camera's completely still, going from slow motion to real motion. And of course that the choreography where she grabs Kylo's thigh, you know, there's all the dyad stuff in there too. It's fantastic. All right, I'm done talking about it. But again, my favorite movie of all time, one of my favorite shots of all time. And it really is something to be commended for. Thank you, Ryan. F the haters, you did a great job. And I can't wait for your trilogy. So next we're going to move on to Pirates of the Caribbean 3 at World's End. This is one of my favorite shots probably in the whole Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I love all 5 movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go and play the shot right here. It's toward the end. So you're going to see the water, you see the ship, and then you have Will Turner. Okay, he kind of like grabs the mast and he's running, he's jetting. He gets hit. And it goes over to Captain Barbossa, and, you know, he's talking for a second. He's laughing like he does. And that's it. But that one shot tells so much about the struggle. First of all, it's raining. There's a freaking maelstrom. And one of the things I love about the first 3 pirate movies is that they felt dirty. They felt gritty. They felt raw, you know. 4 and 5 are good movies, but they felt too clean. This movie, you see rain on people. You see, you know, people getting sliced in half. You see pieces of the ship getting shot out. You know, just look at Will. Look at Will run and then get tackled. And the way the camera moves, there's a momentum to it. You know, the cannons flying, stuff going into the camera lens, Barbossa. It's just, there's so many things going on, and it really captures what I love about the pirate franchise. You know, it's funny, it's action-packed, it's extremely well shot and well made. This is also in a lot of my tributes because it's a great shot. You know, it really tells a story that there's a struggle. You know, there's a lot of things going on. You know, it's a great shot, and really, I think the effects are great. I mean, for 2007, man, a year before the first Iron Man, it looks effing perfect. I mean, the CGI in this movie is freaking crazy, and the fact that they're able to achieve such a dirty feel is because they actually built a ship. You know, and they actually did sail. I mean, you know, they're not fighting like aliens and stuff like that, but I mean, they're really doing this, you know. There's not much CGI here apart from, you know, the stuff hitting the camera and the monsters. I don't know if it's actually raining, and of course they're not in a real maelstrom, but the fact that the CGI and the camera, the way the camera follows him and zooms in and out, the way Will moves and then gets tackled, you kind of lose sight of your main character for a second, and it goes into Barbossa. It really gives a sense of fluidity and sense of motion and intensity that I think 4 and 5 are kind of missing, but I do think it's a great shot. And I really, really enjoyed it. So moving on to the next one, Logan. Probably my favorite X-Men movie. I don't think that's too far of a stretch. We're going to be looking at the Berserker Rage of Wolverine. Now this shot really is crazy because not only is it shot very well, and the choreography is amazing, but, well, here, I'll just show you. So he comes out of he hits that dude. Of course, it's rated R. He slices that dude's throat. He kind of slices him. Now when he hits that dude with the gun, he kind of like shoves him aside. Notice the camera, or the little shake that happens. the way the motion blur is, it really gives a sense of dread. He hits that dude, a lot of motion blurs happening to give a sense of intensity and you know, raw movement. He stabs that dude, and then it moves to another shot of him yelling like a badass. But basically, this shot really just kind of showed that, you know, much like The Last Jedi, and much like basically all of them, they all tell a story. You know, each shot, a good shot, should tell a story. And this one, the whole movie, Logan's an old dude. He, you know, he wants to kill himself. He's very hard. You know, he's very gritty and you know, I'm Logan. You know, and he's kind of like Batman. And then this is really him realizing that not only does he need to help, you know, X-23 and all that, but his daughter. He's kind of embracing his Wolverine-ness again for one last time, knowing that he's probably going to die taking that last of the serum. He just goes all in. It's just to hell with it, you know, and he just goes nuts on these guys. And it's a great shot, you know. I mean, it's just really, even though he's not invulnerable, you know, he's not invincible during this moment. And even then, he's still just this, you know, this badass Wolverine dude. And again, the shot moves, the camera work, the intensity, the motion blur, everything just kind of works together. As well as the story showing that, you know, Logan's back. You know, even if he's back for this one scene, he's still back. And I think that was really awesome. So next, we're going to move on to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. Probably my favorite Harry Potter movie in terms of how it's shot, made. I think for Harry Potter month back in December when I reviewed this, I think this was my A+. There's a specific shot of Hermione Granger in the woods doing your, you know, Protego spell to keep Harry and Ron and everyone out of harm's way in the woods. And there's a shot where one of the Snatchers kind of doesn't really see her because he can't see her, but he kind of senses her in a sense. And it moves over on him, you know, walking around her. She's, you know, she can't make a sound, so there's a certain sense of intensity building. The music is freaking amazing. This dude is, you know, looking at her. He sees absolutely nothing, and the way the camera is one shot moving around them in a circular motion, it's fantastic. It moves back to kind of a, you know, like a Hermione shot of her, kind of like a motion blur. It almost looks like a bubble, you know, when it moves back to her. And then, of course, the guy drops someone, and he's like, "You idiot!" You know, he does something, but then Hermione can take a little breath. And it's a beautiful shot that captures not only just good filmmaking, but also good theme, good thematic building. You know, there's so much stuff at play here. And the fact that, you know, this one shot kind of tells the audience that, you know, there's a lot of crap going on here. You know, it's not just, this is probably the most serious movie in the Harry Potter franchise. Not only because they're on the run, but because, you know, the shots really tell you that, you know. And I think they do a really good job of doing that. You know, and then of course Harry rolls up like, "Hey, what's up? You know, what I miss?" But yeah, just the way the camera moves in a circle, it's just fantastic. And again, the whole movie's very kind of not drab, but kind of sad and kind of down, you know, and just kind of intense. And just kind of, not boring, but it's slow. And this shot really amplifies the fact that they're on the run, and this is more than just, if I get spotted, it's over. You know, they really wanted to kind of show that if I get spotted by this Snatcher, we're effed. You know, it's over. Go home. You know, so they did a great job doing that. So moving on to the penultimate clip for today's video, Joker, my second favorite DC movie. My first is the Lego Batman movie. But, Joker, it's easily, again, it's my top 10 favorite, one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Joaquin Phoenix, he deserved every effing award. The music in this movie is also probably my favorite music in any movie ever. It sticks with you. The one shot of him, of course, Anarchy in Gotham, Joker kind of realizing that, you know, he's not necessarily the hero we wanted to be, but he's a hero for the wrong kind of people. So there's a lot of, the messages and morals of this movie is effing crazy, but the fact that he takes his nosebleed and kind of creates a little Joker smile, of course it's fan service, but it's more than just, oh god, it's Joker, you know. You're actually seeing a build of Arthur Fleck's character, you know. So he starts the movie, and I was gonna add the stair dance scene, but it's a very short shot, not too much in there. But this is a good long shot that kind of tells the audience that this guy is effing crazy, but to him, all of this is normal. You know, finally he's getting the love and respect that he wants. It's in the wrong way, but he's still getting it. So I'm gonna show that scene one more time, if I can. He's kind of sitting there going, you know, what the heck's going on? He takes his nose blood and he makes the mask, but notice all the people in the background, you know, all these people are kind of evil people, you know, they're not good people. But to them, he's their Batman, you know what I mean? Joker, Arthur Fleck, is those people of Gotham's savior, you know? So it's a great hero message that kind of is reversed on itself. And this movie has so many great shots. The whole freaking movie, like The Last Jedi, is so well done. Every shot tells a story, much like all these movies, really. And it's awesome, you know? He's finally... he's finally Joker. You know, he's finally the person he wanted to be, just in the wrong way. The music hits when he does the smile. The way that they do the music with the movie, you know, you get these shots where it's like, dur, 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 you know, it's very harsh and raspy. And the music actually flows with Arthur's character and Arthur's mental state. So by the time he does this is the big heroic moment. So when he does the smile, it's not it's dun 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 dun. You know, it's very like heroic. You know, it's like the Superman or the Spider-Man, Batman hero moment. You know, the big climactic hero moment in these films. And this is his. You know, it's his hero moment. And I think this is it's effed up. You know, it's very effed up, but it's very. You know, it's filmmaking in its finest, and a lot of people know this, but you know, there are people I know that hate this film, and I don't know how that's even possible, but the amount of care that goes, you know, I watch movies for fun, but I also like to watch movies, of course, to analyze them, and that's what I'm doing here. And as you can tell already, just from me talking, there's, you know, taking shots and movies for face value is normally not the way to go. So the last one is from Avengers Endgame. One of the best cinematic experiences of my life, up there with, you know, Star Wars, like Rise of Skywalker and stuff like that. And this shot really is just the big hero moment. Of course, Thanos, you know, is like, what the hell's happening? You know, all the heroes are back, you know, Tony's, well, Tony didn't snap, but basically, you know, they're all coming together, all the heroes are coming together. And this wide shot of every hero, there's so much stuff in the background. Yeah, some of these... I think this is one of the best looking Marvel movies in terms of CGI. A lot of the MCU movies have one or two moments for me where I'm like, oh, that's really bad looking. But this movie, especially this shot, where then, you know, Captain America, Steve Rogers gets Mjolnir, and he finally says, Avengers Assemble. You know, we've been waiting since the very first Avengers movie to hear that. It was a big moment. Of course, after he says Assemble, the Black Panther, they all start charging. It's a great shot. And, you know, one of the best... You know, it's just, it's cool because it's all the, you know, heroes, you know, they're doing their cool poses, but it's showing that they persevered, they got through Infinity War, they've managed to get everyone back with all this time travel crap, they did it, and every hero in this shot really that matters gets a chance to shine, look cool, be badass, you know, there's all these different things, and of course Captain America with the broken shield. It really just shows that all of these characters, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, not Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hulk, War Machine, Black Panther, everyone, they all care, you know. It's not just, oh, we're going to look cool for this shot. You know, this shot tells a story that each character went through hell to get here, and they're going to fight like hell to get through it. You know, there's a lot of imagery and subtle... It's not just a cool scene, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background here, and of course, Captain America saying Assemble really was one of the biggest moments in the entire MCU, probably one of the biggest moments in you know, comic book movies in general. You know, we've been waiting a while to hear this, and the fact that they did it justice, not only does it look cool, but it tells a unique story, is pretty awesome as well. So anyway, those are my shots that I've talked about. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments. I'm assuming you guys have seen all these movies, but if you haven't, tell me which ones you have seen. Which is your favorite? Of course, Star Wars The Last Jedi is my favorite film of all time, but really every single one of these movies are in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. So pretty close. You know, again, I normally put the 4 Lego movies in one because I can't choose. But you know, they're all great movies. All of these shots are excellent in my opinion. They all tell a story. They all tell something different. Alright guys, so sorry about that. I knew I should have deleted some of the freaking files on my SD card. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, tell me in the comments which ones you like the best. I love all these movies. And if you want me to talk about more shots, tell me in the comments. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.